Welcome YouTube to another exciting Starcraft 2 broadcast. Today we're going to be watching a 1 versus 1 on Backwater Gulch between IMNesTea of Team Incredible Miracle fighting against Liquid Jinro. So both players spawning down in the bottom positions today. I hope we're going to have some great early aggression followed by a long macro battle. That's always what I like to see. And for those of you actually, speaking of things to see, maybe interested in knowing that I recently uploaded a new Scared in Korea video that outlined, a lot of you know that the Terran 111 build is a little difficult to deal with for Protoss right now. Basically, the Warp Prism is getting a buff in 1.4, and I just wanted to make a video showing Next Sickness, who is something that I really enjoy watching, dealing with that style of play. So if you haven't checked that out, you'll find the video in the video description. You should go watch that when you're done. Again, the Warp Prism is getting a buff. Its shields are going up from 40 to 100, and I think that's going to help extend its life a little bit there in the mid-game in particular, but also open up some additional opportunities. So, without further ado, let's talk about this match here. So Liquid Jinro spawning down here. You can see he's working on the wall. Everything's looking pretty standard. We'll wait and see if he drops the gas, if he's going to go for a 1 racks fast expand. Looking down here at IMNesTea, sending out a drone at 15 supply. We see he's sitting at around 200 minerals right now. It's looking pretty indicative of a hatch first. So sure enough, there we go. Now Jinro going out to scout. It looks like he's going to actually be heading to the top right, I think, so he might scout that hatchery last. If he scouted it first, then I would say that he could actually put on some good pressure against this, possibly a bunker down here, even though he only has 1 barracks and he's getting some gas, so his mineral income is going to be a little bit down compared to what it would be otherwise. He still certainly could put some pressure on. I mean, the spawning pool just went down, so it'll be a little while before we see some Zerglings. We'll wait and see exactly what happens, though. I think because of the fact that he's going to actually hit this spot last, I feel like he's not really going to be in a great position to apply any sort of bunker pressure. Or we do have a Marine heading out, probably just looking to kill that scout. Yep, that's exactly what it's doing. You see that drone not able to even come up here and check out what's going on. I mean, all he would see would be the barracks. That's about it. He would see there's no add-on, no anything like that. And also, he would not see that factory going down now. What is he going to be doing? You know, I'm thinking that he's going to come over here, he's going to scout this, and, oh, he is going to be dropping down a bunker there. But it looks like that drone is actually going to come in here just in the nick of time, block it. Oh, dropped it down just a second sooner. That worked out quite well for him. But this is what I was talking about, man. IMNesTea already has several drones down here. The expansion is complete. He's got a queen coming. He's committed to it. And even though there is some nice marine micro there, that's actually going to work against IMNesTea a little bit. Because you see, he wasn't quite able to pick off that SCV. It did manage to get all tucked away nice and tight, and now that bunker is going to be going down. So far in this game, units lost, you see, not a lot, although, I wonder if he actually canceled that or not. Very interesting, lost 100 resources according to that meter, but command center's going down, and with the reactor going here, I feel like what we're going to see next is these two switch. Yes, indeed. There they go. We're going to have some Hellion harassment. This is a pretty natural and common transition in ZVT when they go hatch first. You know, they're not going to have too many Zerglings at this point. Terran's going to be able to get out some Hellions before Zerg really can have a solid map presence and work on a containment, and he's going to be able to bust up some of those drones. Now, he's going to have to do a decent bit of economic damage, because you see his command center is about 50% complete, so he's going to be a little bit behind in the economy. You see, he's only dropping down 2 Hellions, so we'll wait and see how much damage he can do with those. It might just be that he wants to dedicate just enough to get Zerg out of the watchtowers, maybe pop in, take out a drone or 3. But he's going to have to watch out, because you see the creep is going to be able to drop, drop 1 tomb right here, and he can spin the creep right here, be able to run up to this ramp very quickly, and here comes the SCV just coming to chill as well with the Marines. So there we go. With the Marines there, it makes it a bit more of a comfortable position. But here the Zerglings starting to pop out. They're going to try to get us around on there. They will be able to take out those 2 Marines. Oh, so very close. No, the Zerglings actually choosing to try to take out the Hellions instead. Well, the Hellions do manage to survive, and they're going to continue actually hitting the Queen, which is kind of an interesting choice. There we go. I was wondering if he was going to try to come into the mineral line for the main or the natural instead of just shooting that Queen. But now we're going to see one Hellion picked off very easy. You know, there's a lot of wide open space right here. You see he's choosing to kind of poke in and not get too far away from the Queen. We see those Marines have already been taken out. And now IMNesTea with the Roaches, I feel like he's going to be in a good spot to defend himself here for the next couple minutes. As, well, we take a look at what we have up here. Jinro, he's making tanks. He's got siege tech just about complete. This poor Hellion, man, he is just doing anything he can to get out of the way. 6 hit points. Oh, taken out by the Queen. 2 kills, man. She is just proud of herself. See, she's looking around like, yeah, sup. So, right now, units lost total. You can just take a quick look at that. Results of the action so far. And now we have the Zerg player going for a counterattack. Now, this is not really meant to pop up here and, you know, charge the ramp, etc. It's pretty much just meant to go and see if he can get any free kills with the hatchery, maybe a command center down there. He spots that it's not really, that opportunity's not quite there. So he's going to bring those Roaches back and continue to defend his base. Which, I mean, frankly, he's in a good position. We can just look at the army size right now and see Terran, okay, he's got a little bit more invested into it, but that's largely due to these siege tanks right here and a few Marines. Not something you want to just throw at the Zerg player at this point because, ooh, he's got a macro hatchery going down. Now, this is a little interesting. Notice also the upgrade chamber as well, the evolution chamber. And yeah, sometimes I just kind of give random names. But IMNesTea, from here, he can kind of go one of 2 directions. This macro hatchery, a lot of times, is indicative combined with the Roach that the Zerg player is going to be going for a lot of low-tier units, Lings, Roaches, etc. But he could also go for another expand very quickly. And I'm thinking maybe that's why he's knocking out these rocks. He could be looking to take this expansion. The reason he's taking that one and not this one is because pushing closer and closer towards the Terran base, especially considering the fact that he knows his opponent has siege tanks, not the best idea. And it's also going to force Terran to kind of go a little bit more in terms of mobility. It's going to rely on Jinro to drop more, which is going to require getting a starport. Not that big of a deal. I mean, I'm sure we'll see those at some point anyways. But that will work in his favor. So, looking around, we see the Terran player continuing to check out the expansions. He spotted nothing down here, so he's going to go and possibly put some pressure here on the natural. We can see 10 Zerglings on the way. We have a Spire as well. So we're going to see some of those mutants. We don't have any Banelings just yet. We do not have a Baneling nest even on the way. So what's the Zerg player going to do right now? Well, he's going to come in here and try to get a good surround on the Marines. You see plenty of those here, able to do tons of damage. More Roaches on the way. He's got to get those units back and play very defensively here. You know, losing a lot of those Roaches was not something he needed to have happen at this point. Right now, you can just take a look at the army size and see it is very, very small. Only thing he has right here is a few Zerglings scattered around. He might actually lose this hatchery. Oh, man, here comes more Roaches. Going to be popping very close to the siege tanks, taking out the Marines while the Queens actually do a decent bit of damage. One of them goes down. The second one might go down as well, bringing it back at the last second there. The Marines actually charging ahead, buying the Roaches a few extra seconds to come in here. Both of these siege tanks very low on health. And now, I think IMNesTea is going to be able to wrap this up with just a couple siege tanks here, a few Marines. You see the SCVs are going to try to repair, but really, this attack has been severely diminished. He does not have the ability to effectively guard these tanks, especially versus 26 freaking Zerglings that just popped out. And the fact that this macro hatchery is still alive definitely does not help as well. That's just that many more units that we're going to see pop out for IMNesTea, despite the fact that he lost those Queens. So, there are the results so far. You see the Zerg player actually up now for resources lost. Terran, oh man, still about 3.1k. The command center going down. We do have Jinro actually placing the siege tank. I like the positioning on this. He's going to be able to get some good lines of fire right here as the Zerglings decide to run down. And also, you see they're going to have to run down that different layer of terrain. So, up here, IMNesTea going to go ahead and work on knocking out these rocks. You see he's actually moved his overlords up here as well. They are fairly exposed, but the Terran, again, not likely to be coming way up in here unless he takes some ridiculously long route for a drop, and I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like the Terran player knows that this side of the map is kind of Zerg's sphere of influence, and if he's going to do a drop, he may actually just want to go ahead and go for the main, which is actually pretty vulnerable when you think about it, because the fact that the Terran player here, it looks like he's actually going to be moving his SCVs down towards this third base. This makes a little bit more sense for the Terran to take this than for the Zerg to take that one over there in the kind of mirrored position. So the meter harassment's going to be coming in here. You see he actually delayed 2 of the 3 structures being built here. That is going to hurt Jinro a lot, but you know, he's going to be able to get some SCVs down, repair that. The question is, does he actually realize those aren't building yet? I don't think he does. The seconds go by that these things aren't being built, that's really going to hurt him. So finally, he realizes that, brings those out. Again, IMNesTea does currently have map control. You see he's got the Terran player observed up here. I do like Jinro's placements of the depots. That's very nice. Prevent those Zerglings from running by. Actually, I think that's a complete wall off right there. Yes, it is. So with the mutas still kind of presenting a threat, we see that Jinro decided to drop a watch or a missile turret or two, and that's looking pretty dandy. So as far as income goes, 55 to 63. So we can see the Zerg player definitely making use of that extra hatchery he's got. Still, man, that is making a world of difference here. And you're going to notice that that income continue to skyrocket. But Terrany's, now that he's got 3 command centers, his income's going to be looking pretty darn good as well. You see it's actually kind of spiking up there because of the mules. And as far as actual units are concerned, we see a few banelings now finally coming into play somewhere around here. Yeah, right there. Queens have obviously come back once again. And my God, that just looks really weird. But, okay, 18 mutas. That's good. So he's going to be able to do plenty of harassment. And I think that the Jinro, knowing that these mutas are somewhere on the map, you're going to see him kind of turtle up for a little bit. That's why we've got this watchtower coming down. Sensor tower now is able to spot these mutas as they come in. There are 2 missile turrets right here. Okay, that's fine. Marines will be able to quickly reinforce and push away the mutas. As far as income goes now, you see Zerg is definitely sitting in a fantastic position, 62 to 75, as plenty more larvae just wait to be constructed into whatever the Zerg player feels necessary. A couple spine crawlers as well, taking another expansion. I mean, at this point, I think it's a very smart move to IMNesTea to do that, as he does have the Terran player quite contained right now. And you see, Jinro kind of realizes that, so he may decide to go for a drop here in the main. He could decide to go for the natural. Maybe up here. I don't know. I mean, again, that's so far away. But you see now the muta's going to be coming in once again, taking out more missile turrets. This one going to be going down right off the bat. Second one as well. He may be able to take out this engineering bay. He could come from over here, although it would be really close. The Marines could pop over on this side as well. This one poor medevac has the really bad duty of having to heal up all of those Marines. But you see, Jinro actually took this time to come out and try to claim control of the watchtower. So he did a very good job deciding to use that to his advantage. The fact that he knows where those mutos are, and now that Thor is there, we're not going to see any more harassment in this particular location. So, as far as army size goes now, 161 to 180. You see both players actually kind of close in terms of mineral investment. Oh no! The muta's running right into the Marines. So many of them going down right there. We just see that reflected in the units lost tab as about 7,500 resources. And I think we actually had a drop down here that we missed while that was going on. Let's actually, we'll see if we can take a look for that at the end of the video. But for now, that drop is going to be obviously handled very easily. And meanwhile, over here, more mutas continue to float around. We look at the production tab, we see more on the way. Some level 2 upgrades, one of them just finished there. And as far as APM goes, you can just kind of take a look at that. I know some of you are interested in knowing that at this point in the game. Now that things are off to a start and it's not just warming hands. But income, you see Terran is now really, really hurting. His main is mined out. You see all those SCVs just not really able to do anything. Really, what can the Terran player do? He's got to do something about the fact that the Zerg player has got this extra base coming up here. As time goes on, you're going to see that really come into greater and greater effect. He's essentially mining off of 3.5 bases right now. He's going to be able to come in and saturate that third really easily once his first is completely mined out. But you look at the army size, 198 to 175. The composition is very much in IMNesTea's favor. I think those Marines just getting annihilated as the siege tanks going down the mutas as well, just taking out that Thor, and you're going to see this attack mopped up very quickly. There's about a 40 supply difference right now. Jinro really in an inferior position. He's got to find a way to come back and do some economic damage. What can he do at this point? He needs to do some drops. He needs to try to use that medevac mobility to his advantage, outmaneuver the Mutalisks because he knows they're going to be running around. He's got to look for a way to take some of these out and regain map control. Now, obviously, Thors are going to be great for holding the line. It only takes 1 or 2 to really hold against a clump of Mutos. I mean, really only 1 if you got some SCVs repairing it as well. but he's got to do something, man. So we'll look for Jinro to try to make a comeback in terms of economy. As you see, he's kind of sitting pretty good right now, but still just 2 bases. All these mules running, 6 mules at once. You see he's really just dumped that energy there, and we spot this expansion starting to get saturated. Okay, that's good. We'll see the income continue to be affected. Pathogen glands on the way, so we're going to see a transition into infestors. I think this is a great idea. Number 1, the fungals on the Marines. You see they've been tightly clumped up so far. Number 2, if he wants to, he can mind control the Thors, he can mind control the siege tanks, and annihilate the army. So here comes the drop from Jinro. Looks like it's going to be heading up in this direction. But again, IMNesTea has the overlords placed very smartly all around, providing only a very small window, which I do not think his opponent will actually know about. You see the army just kind of sitting around in the middle of the map right now. Dropship continues to move forward. I'm wondering if he's actually just going to move ahead and try to pick off an overlord or 2. I think that's what he's going to be doing. Maybe he's going to hide that dropship as well. No, he's going to let that be seen by the overlords. Okay, that's fine. And there we go. Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what, man. If you want a way to make an entrance, that is certainly it. So now we have 2 additional drops coming down here in the main as well. Mutas are very close to it. We'll see exactly how much they're able to do. No, not a lot. It looks like, yep, sure enough, that drop gets taken out as well. Oh, nice pickup by Jinro. Manages to save all of the Marines. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a different story down here. We're seeing everything taken out. But I think that IMNesTea made a very wise decision, splitting them up with the ground forces down here to deal with this smaller army and leaving the mutas to deal with the medevacs up here. You know, even if the Terran player decided to run back and try to lift up like he is up here, he was going to be able to have those mutas up in plenty of time to take that out. Oh, that poor baneling right there. For a split half a second, I thought that was a fungal squirt, and I'm like, wait, what? One of these abilities does not fit in with the units right there. So the muta's going to be taking those out. You see 2-1 upgrades as we speak, as far as units are concerned. 1 Thor, 10 siege tanks, a lot of Marines. So we're seeing a nice army form down here. I don't really know if it's going to be enough, though. Again, 158 to 192. I feel like there's just been this gap growing as time goes by. Jinro is trying to build up this expansion down here, but with it being so close, it's going to be very risky. Yes, the muta population is diminished. We see a couple additional ones right here, but with these Marines here, uh-oh, it's going to be running into a trap. Oh, no, fish voice. Oh, finally made it. I was a little bit worried there that we'd see those mutas run into a whole bunch of Marines. I don't care who's controlling the mutas, man, or who's controlling the Marines. It breaks my heart to see like 40 mutas just run directly into a huge ball of Thor's Marines or whatever. So IMNesTea looking really good on the income. You know, you see he has got a solid half of the map, leaving only this expansion, which again would be very easy for the Terran player to pick off. I mean, even if nothing else, he could have positioned some siege tanks around the high ground, block off this choke point, and obviously they can't do anything with the rocks here either. So Zmita's coming in once again to the Marines. Spot that. Oh, that is a lot of banelings, folks. I have a feeling that this is not going to end well for one or both of the players. I think the mutas are still kind of hopping around the middle, though. Very tightly clumped up. He's got to watch for that Thor, as it is looking to move up towards the middle of the map. We see just a few Marines popping up. Very good choice to decide not to send too many of those. He spots the high quantity of banelings. That's the biggest thing right now. And also, one Marine just kind of, he just basically hates his life. That's really nothing else that you can you really use to describe it in terms of wording, but plenty of spine crawlers going down. I wonder if he's actually going to try to drop down a bunch of drones and cancel them so that way he can get some oversupply, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's just making them for defense, which is fine. So we're going to see the Zerg player again continue to hold his main army. Over here, we're seeing 2 dropships come down to the main base. Oh, but the Zerg player should actually spot these. You see Jinro deciding to pull these back at the last second. Very smart move. I think even the mutas are going to be a little hesitant to go in at first, but now with those Marines dropping, it's just not going to be enough. Jinro is going to have to come down here in full force, hoping to save at least his command center, because these mutas are, well, let's just say they are rather pissed off right now, man. They do not want this Terran player to expand, and we see that he's done a great job containing Jinro to 3 bases. Next, he actually moving in to the main. What's he going to be doing with these banelings? I'm not too sure. You see splitting off some of them there. Oh, nice hit with the siege tank. But a few of them are running in here in the main base, looking for SCVs, I think. Yep, sure enough. Doesn't spot any, so he's going to be moving back. Hey, maybe he's going to be looking to take out these Marines. He's got to be careful. There's a couple in the front, so not going to be able to do a whole lot of extra damage beyond what we just saw there. As far as army size goes, we can just take a look and see that Zerg definitely has a massive advantage, still sitting at around a 40 supply lead there. And Look at the money. I mean, if nothing else, 4K minerals in the bank, he could throw his army and at least come back with just a metric crap ton of Zerglings from the macro hatch, all the extra hatcheries he has laying around the map, and then some board drones. Well, that's okay. It's IMNesTea. I think we can forgive him for something like that. I'm sure we'll actually spot him. Oh, look at that, SCVs. But I'm sure he'll spot that and fix it momentarily. Jinro decides to move out. I think this is really what he needs to do right now because, again, he's been contained for so long. He knows the Zerg has a great economy right now. We, of course, can see that firsthand. Look at that, double at 54 to 87 on the Harvesters right now. But look at the units lost so far. Neck and neck. They're within 150 points of each other, and we have Jinro going for a drop here. The thing is, the Zerg players saw that with the creep. Well, no, I don't know. He lost the creep timber there, so maybe not. Maybe he's not aware of that. What the Terran player I do not think is aware of are the Broodlords. Well, now he is. Now he is. Definitely because he got his Marine smacked in the face. But a combination of Infestors, Broodlords, it's going to make it extremely difficult for Jinro to do anything at this point other than just surgical strikes, run in, take out X, Y, and Z, and get the hell out before those Broodlords actually come in and mop up the floor. So we've got those Marines coming in. We're going to see those not do too much damage, but I think it's actually going to work out as a great diversion because if we whip our camera down here to the bottom portion of the map, we can see more Marines are getting ready to come into the main. What can he actually pop off? Well, there's a lot of tech structures here. A lot of times you'll see Zerg players maybe drop their tech structures down at the natural for fear of the main being slightly vulnerable, which we see is the case in this particular moment. So Jinro coming for those key production facilities, the Greater Spire, denying that upgrade before it's done. We've also got the Adrenal Glands coming in as well. It's going to have that canceled in just a moment. Loses the Infestation Pit even. So what can the Zerg player build at this point? Well, take a look. Roaches. Lots and lots of roaches, folks. Now 193 to 196, so he will be able to rebuild. Also an Ultralisk Cavern on the way. So all that going down, I very much like the timings of those attacks because you saw how he stretched IMNesTea's attack or forces up to the top part of the map while attacking down here and then concluding with coming up here. But you're seeing those tanks way out of position in comparison to the anti-air. The Broodlord's going to be able to mop that up even though they're not even in siege position in siege mode. I mean, really, what would be the point at this stage in the game? With so many Corruptors, so many Broodlords, some Infestors, the Fungals for everyone. This should be a t-shirt. Fungals for everyone! So, for now, we have a massive drone transfer. So this Hellion, all the Hellions in the world are just crying right now. Please, just line them up better for me. So now the Muta's Corruptor is going to be looking around. Pretty much, I think that IMNesTea knows he's in a great position. He just annihilated Jinro's army. Jinro's going to be moving back out here. These Infestors, oh no! That is a lot of energy that just went down the drain. Many Fungals right side could have just been had, but not anymore. As you see, those Mutas are actually doing a great job taking out some of that anti-air, but the Broodlords coming in, saving the day for the ground or the air forces. 1-2 upgrades still. Take a look at the Marines, 2 and 3, so that's looking pretty good, man. But 111 to 177, 185. Yep, see, that's just ticking up so quickly. And also the Ultras just popped out right there. You see he's got 2 armor. He does not have the Ultra armor upgrade, but that's going to be it for these Marines, man. That's all she wrote. You see, he's literally in a corner. He can't get out this rocks. There's the fungal growth, and there is half a GG as Jinro decides to leave the game, giving the match to IMNesTea. So thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you found it fun, interesting, possibly arousing, be sure to subscribe because I mean, hey, who isn't aroused by Zerg? Just saying. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.